Most recent developments is Louise Blais, former Canadian diplomat and Deputy Permanent Representative of Canada to the United Nations. Good morning. Thank you so much for being with us.
Happy to be with you, Marcia.
Ukraine is looking for long-term security guarantees that would mirror NATO's mutual defense commitments. Is that something you think is possible, considering there is the potential there to drag a number of countries into a war with Russia if the ceasefire does not hold?
Well, I think that it's very risky, obviously, but it's positive. I think it's extremely positive that the European are willing to provide security guarantees. I think this is all welcome news, and I think it plays not necessarily negatively with the Americans.
Can you expand on that thought, that last thought?
Well, the Americans have been saying for a long time, look, take care of your own backyard, and not in so many words, but really, really that is the message. We have done a lot in Europe. We've protected you. It's cost us a lot of money to do it. I mean, that's how Donald Trump sees things, right? It's all about money and about everyone's fair share. So to see Europe really increasing their investment in their military apparatus is really positive. The president takes a lot of credit for that, and he's probably not wrong in that sense. He really pushed for it, and it really has sent it's been like a wake-up call for Europe. It has been for Canada as well. So to see this kind of solidarity, I think in Europe makes a lot of sense, as long as it is not, negative against the U.S. I think that's very dangerous. It has to be said that, okay, we're going to do our share, but I think trying to say, because you're not doing it, you're not helping us, United States, I think that's dangerous.
How optimistic are you that something solid, something substantial can come out of this meeting? I mean, Russia's not there in Paris, so what are you watching for?
Well, I don't think something concrete will come out of it. I think that it is a part of it is symbolic. It's really showing this level of unity. It's sending a message to the Russian Federation that, look, we are united. We will do what it takes. I hope, question mark, but I think that is the message. It's not really about resolving the conflict per se. It's really about establishing certain, the context in which potentially, if indeed Russia decides to make a deal and make some concessions, which they appear not to be wanting to make. And that's why I think we've seen the President Trump has basically abandoned now his focus on trying to make this a peace pact. I think he sees that he cannot bring Russia to the table because Russia doesn't want it. So this is not about ending the war. This is really about preparing for another time when that maybe will become possible.
I want to tap into your experience with the UN. Lastly, Russia has moved into Ukraine. Over the weekend, we saw the U.S. invade Caracas, which the UN condemned yesterday. I wanted to get your thoughts on whether or not you still think the UN is useful when it seems that there are no consequences for invading another country.
Well, this is not new. The UN Security Council in particular has been unable to prevent regional conflict. It's been good at preventing a third world war, but not good at defending smaller countries in the face of invasion or attack by others. So I think that's we have to be realistic with what they can do. It was interesting yesterday. Everyone, the UN is still useful in the sense that everyone gets to have their say, and big superpowers can still exchange around the table. I think there are conversations that happen at the UN that cannot happen anywhere else, and so that's still helpful. But as long as there are veto powers who were part of the problem, part of the aggressors, it will be very difficult to see the UN being effective. But I will end with the fact that if you're realistic about what to expect of the UN, it's still useful to negotiate certain resolutions at important times, but it just will not solve all the problems, unfortunately.
Louise Blais is a former Canadian diplomat and Deputy Permanent Representative of Canada to the United Nations. Thank you so much for your time with us this morning.